I'm Adam, and this is The New Woodworker. So as you saw from the intro video, I'm kind of loving this new Makita track saw. I gotta tell you, this thing is, it's worth its weight in gold already to me. I've used it almost every day for the projects I've been working on. Now, I never owned a track saw before, so I just really went straight forward to what I thought would be probably one of the best ones I could find, which I decided to go with the battery-powered Makita, because although I haven't told you yet, I've also started to assemble some Makita tools and use them more than my Milwaukees. But I didn't tell you that yet, so I'm still using all my Milwaukees. In fact, I've got red everywhere around here, but I went with the Makita rear handle and the Makita router, compact router with plunge base. So I went with the track saw to complement the router so that I could use the tracks with the router and the tracks with the track saw. I mean, I'm loving it. I really am loving this saw. It is just, it's easy to use. It makes sense. Yeah, this thing, it is what it is. And I know there's a lot of people that think that it's comparable to a track saw, and I'm sure its purpose is similar, but it's not comparable. I can't tell you how many times I would constantly have to adjust this base, this sled, on my circ saw. I tried a few different circ saws. I mean, I tried full size 7 1/4, then 6 1/2, and then the Milwaukee, and then the corded, and I tried a bunch of them. I eventually had to end up cutting a hole in the back and kind of rearranging things, and just to keep it like steady and to keep the micro jitters out. And I guess the other thing that I really did not like is this joint leaves a gap, but I know you can, slice this down and cut this, as they call it, a sacrificial edge, right? But it's not perfect. I mean, I would really focus on trying to get this thing level all the time, and like, it stays close. It does stay close, but I guess I'm just too rough on my stuff. I mean, I can admit that. I'm too rough. And when I get frustrated, I tend to throw things, and then they stop working as they should. So this sled has been thrown a few times, but I'm not going to throw this. I'm definitely not going to throw I'm going to try not to throw this, because I'm an adult, and I don't need to throw things anymore. But I really got to tell you guys and gals, comparing the Accu-Cut to the Makita track saw, it's night and day. It's apples and oranges. Even looking at the track setup, okay? This is a decent track for a rough cut, for, ripping down plywood, whatever you want to do. But when you compare this track to the quality of this track, I mean, it's like, it's like a toy versus like, not a toy, a tool. Now I got two 55-inch Makita tracks with the included Makita soft bag. I love this thing. I think it's great. You got the carrying case to keep your tracks safe, because again, like I said, I'm kind of rough on things. And point taken, I'm sure. But the functionality of the track saw itself, it's just really user-friendly. It's very comfortable. It's ergonomic. The magnesium base. It's a magnesium base, right? It is magnesium. I believe it's magnesium. But there's tons of power. Tons of power. And I've used it so much, and I'm still half battery capacity right now. And I gotta tell you, I also really like the Makita stacking cases that they give you, the hard cases. It's just nice to have. I usually like bags. I mean, I love putting all my stuff into bags, but having these cases that I can stack in the corner of the shop it's just really nice. They stay out of the way. I don't need dedicated shelving. They're just in a corner. Because remember, my purpose is I'm in this little shop. This is a tiny shop. Take a look at that video right there. It'll introduce you to my setup. I'm only down here because I have heat for the time being, where my large barn upstairs is frigid cold. But that's where I keep my table saw, the 10-inch sliding compound miter saw, the drill press I moved outside here, and the bandsaw I've got in the back now. So I'm kind of operating half capacity down here, Half capacity up, no, not really. I'm probably 3/4 capacity down here, and then like a quarter outside, and I don't really need the rest of the stuff upstairs anymore. I don't really go up there very often, but that's where I keep my lumber. So, you know, in the cold, so it can acclimate to cold. I keep what I'm using right away in the back here, so it's acclimating to the temperature control. There's not a whole lot to say about the comparison. For me as a user, there's no comparison. I'm so happy that I went with the Makita. I really am. I did consider the Festool because I have the Festool vacuum platform, but I believe I'm going to get rid of the Festool, or just give that to my guys to keep on the job site for our construction company, Build, Guild, and Refine. I'm seeing more and more woodworkers going with the Merca system. So if you're watching, guys and gals, and you're using the Merca or something similar, drop a comment in the lines below and let me know why and what I should maybe try. Because the Merca system sounds pretty good so far. We use the Festool for things like sanding cabinets for cabinet refinishing, for sanding spackle and sheetrock, sanding down paint, sanding down coats. I've used it for sanding down some farmhouse tables. I mean, I've used the Rotex sander a lot. But the Festool system itself is slightly underwhelming with the amount of dust and debris that still gets airborne, and I wasn't expecting that. So I'm going to try the Merca. But this video is not about that. This video is about the Makita track saw, and really, should you upgrade from your Kregg Accu-Cut to an actual track saw? There's a lot of options. I went with the Makita again because I've already started to go on the battery platform, and using the rotor, using the router, the Makita router, using the router with the track will also come in handy for some of the slotting that I want to do with the farmhouse tables especially. Oh, and the battery-powered Makita rear handle is just, it's one of the lightest ones on the market. I've used a ton of rear handles. I have no use for my skill saw now anymore because I like the Makita so much. I was less impressed with the DeWalt rear handle because it was just so heavy and kind of bulky in the way that it was balanced. I really do prefer the balance and the feel of the Makita rear handle. So for me, the Kregg Accu-Cut didn't really have a place. I thought it would. I tried it. I gave it a fair chance. It just doesn't fit in with my workflow, and it's not my style. The Makita track saw works for me, and it works well, and I really love it. I'm happy with it. I don't know. You can go look up the technical specs. But you know, that's not what you get here with me. You get a real user review. I've been in construction for most of my life. I grew up around construction. I grew up in construction. I grew up using tools my whole life. I grew up using woodworking tools, even though I didn't even know what I was doing because I didn't really know my grandfather was a woodworker because I was used to my other grandfather who was a builder. Did you catch any of that? All right. So guys and gals, thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe to the channel. Press that like button, please, because that helps us stay in and get further into the YouTube algorithm. Watch the commercials, because that actually helps us make a few cents on each video. And then hit that bell so that you can receive notifications anytime we put out a new video. So I really appreciate all the support. You guys are helping the channel grow exponentially. We've got some videos that are doing really well, and I want to know how I can cater to you more. I'm trying to put out more material that is beneficial to you rather than just me kind of going along in my usual way. So help me out. Remember, I'm new to woodworking. I've been in construction most of my life, but woodworking is a new avenue for me, so I'm trying to learn. So if you have any input or suggestions that I can benefit from and share that we can all benefit from in the community, please share it with us, and I would love to help my career help others. So thanks again for watching. I'm Adam, and this is The New Woodworker. Careers. I would love for you and your career to help my career help other careers. That's it.